everyone, and this is IUP-TV News, where we will be telling you stories related to COVID-19. I'm Taylor Jones.
And I'm Boris Shiloff.
So Boris, how are you? How's being at home?
Being at home, I never thought that we'd be doing a newscast from our homes. I'm sitting in my home office right now, and this is wild.
This is very wild. Life just changed in an instant. Like now we have to be at home in quarantine. Like we have to take this virus very seriously, which is understandable. But yes, it's definitely a change recording at home.
It is, and we're in the safety of our homes right now, and most of the people in our class are healthy and safe and safe. I think most of the folks at school actually are that way. We do have 14,000 cases of the coronavirus statewide right now, though, and the governor and the health secretary, Dr. Rachel Levine, have made the recommendation to go outside if you have to go outside and make those trips to the store or what have you, to do so wearing protective masks. And people have made protective masks out of anything they can find, whether it be cloth, if you can get one from a hospital of some kind, use that as well. I'm going to take the time today to teach everyone how to make masks out of simple household ingredients, like a bandana and a coffee filter, or even a t-shirt if that's all you have. So we'll take a look at that today. And, just some of the things you can do to try to keep safe in these uncertain times. And, we're doing the newscast from home, and it's kind of a crazy thing, but there are other classes as well, right, that are just kind of thrown into flux.
Yes, a lot of students are worried and trying to figure out how, online classes is going to work out, because some students have labs and production classes and they were trying to figure out how to do that, from home, which is very important. And with my story, I talked about how students are transitioning to, classes to online classes and their frustration and just how they're dealing with it, because we're all going through it right now. And we're all going to get through it together. So that's very important. With the sudden urge of the university closing and classes operating online, majority of students had no choice but to be sent to their hometown early.
It's actually been worse for me because all my classes were moved to online, which makes it super hard. I'm used to being in 2-hour classes at nighttime, and now it's just all online papers and Zoom classes, which is kind of weird. I'm trying to get used to it.
However, some students have decided to stay in Indiana. Students who chose to stay decided to do so until their apartment lease was over.
I decided to stay in Indiana because I'm from DC, and there have been a lot of cases in DC. So one, it just made sense to stay here because I have a lower risk of catching it, but also I've rented a spot off campus. So if I'm paying to be here and I can't get on my lease, I might as well just stay here and figure it out for the next month and a half.
The coronavirus has dramatically changed college for many, which caused for event cancellations, dorms closing, and changing the lives of faculty and students.
Nothing really else better to do, so I've just been, get my schoolwork done, number one, but I've also just been trying to find extracurricular activities in the house.
Some students divided their time between studying and working at local businesses. Restaurants such as Italian Village, The Coney, and Spaghetti Benders are still open to feed the public during the pandemic.
And stressful, but also just different. We're only doing takeout orders, but we are doing a lot to help the community during the week, during Monday through Friday, 11 to 3, I think it is. We're offering free meals to kids K through 12 since schools are closed, and a lot of students are deprived of getting lunches at school.
Whether they stay in Indiana or go back to their parents' house, managing life and adapting to online learning at this time is challenging.
I'm a communications major and a theater minor, so all of my performances for the rest of the semester were canceled. I was supposed to do a lot of design work that's no longer happening, as well as in the comm department. A lot of my classes are very hands-on, like my audio classes, and we don't have access to any of that equipment anymore for the rest of the semester.
This may not have been the way students expected their semester to happen, but this is the new medium that they have to work with. This is Taylor Jones reporting for IUP-TV News. So you see, Boris, how the virus has greatly impacted the students, and tips for them is to always have a routine. Set a certain time of when you want to do your schoolwork and then to take a break to help you flow and keep schoolwork going. And also, if they need help, to remember to always contact their professors by email or by phone to make sure they're doing the right homework and getting it done on time.
Yeah, the professors, in some ways they're going through the same things we are as far as being locked down and being, the stay-at-home order applies to them just as much as it does to the students. So, they're having to contend with a lot of the same things that we are. So it's a stressful time for everyone. And, safety is a concern, and the stress is a concern, and they're having to grade the papers at home, and everyone is kind of out of their element. It's really an unprecedented sort of situation right now.
Yes, no one expected their spring semester to happen like this in just an instant after spring break, but we're all going to get through it. This is the new type of way to live right now.
And we'll be checking our emails and things like that. I know the Crimson, the newsletter is coming out daily still. The Beak, the student newsletter, is coming out daily. So there's updates there as far as dates are concerned. The university is asking for input on items like graduation dates and things like that. So the university is still keeping in contact with the students, and the professors that I've been speaking with have also been doing a great job reaching out, making sure their students are safe, not just as far as assignments go, but just making sure that mentally and emotionally everything is good to go as well. So
yes, and I also appreciate how the president has his weekly videos every week that he sends to us to, just to keep us updated on what's going on and what IUP is doing to make sure everything runs smoothly. So that is greatly appreciated for us. So definitely. But I heard you have something to say about donations.
Absolutely, yes. So we're talking a bit about all of the things that the university is doing to reach out for the students, as far as we're talking about the Beak and things like that, and what President Driscoll is doing there. But the university is also reaching out to the local community and helping out. Recently, they donated a bunch of medical supplies to IRMC and helping out the local community in the fight against COVID-19. Now, Indiana County is not being hit very hard with the coronavirus as it stands right now, but it is still a very important thing to make sure that we're staying ahead of it. So the folks at the College of Health and Human Services, home to IUP's nursing school, safety science majors, and criminology courses, gathered a bunch of resources as well. So Dr. Lou Pesci, who is the director of IUP's Institute for Rural Health and Safety, looked through supplies in classrooms after everyone had left, found several boxes of supplies and gloves to donate to Indiana Regional Medical Center. And you can see here that he and his team helped go and do that. Great work there being done by the Hawks, even though, we're
going through this time.
Not there, yeah.
Yes, those donations, we thank, them for that so much, because when we go to the stores, there's absolutely no gloves, no sanitizer, no mask around. And for them, to donate to the community is greatly just the best thing. Like, we really appreciate that, because, people need help. Everything is gone and people want to protect themselves, and it's very important. So thank you for them.
And you just mentioned there, one of the big things is the masks and the gloves, but
yes,
especially the masks. And recently, Governor Wolf and Dr. Levine, who is our state secretary of health, made the announcement that masks are highly recommended. And it's not so much that protective masks will protect you from the virus, more that you may protect somebody else, because some of the people who are carrying the virus aren't really showing symptoms. It's kind of a scary thing as we learn more and more about COVID-19. So the suggestion has been made to wear masks, but if you've been watching the news, masks are kind of hard to come by, and many hospitals and first responders are running low on them.
yes.
But there are ways to make your own masks, and the CDC has come up with a list of ways to make masks with some very simple household items.
Today, I'm asking all Pennsylvanians to wear a mask anytime you leave your house. Masks help prevent people from sharing illnesses. They don't do a great job at keeping people from getting sick, and they're not foolproof. So it's critical that our first act, as Secretary Levine said, is to ask ourselves if we really need to leave our house.
And with that, Governor Wolf has issued the recommendation that people leave their homes with a sort of mask. And masks are indeed hard to come by. And the CDC has issued on their website some simple guidance on how to make a mask with some very, very simple household ingredients. You can use a bandana and a coffee filter if you've got those, with some hair bands or rubber bands.
Or if you don't have that, you can use a simple pair of scissors and a plain t-shirt, and we will show you how to do that in this video. It's a simple way to do it. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute to do, and it works in a pinch. Again, as Governor Wolf said, it's one of those things that will protect you from spreading the disease should you have it. And in his words, everyone has to act like they have it. That's the only way to really, in his words, prevent the disease from spreading, is for everyone to act like they have it. So what we're going to do is take about 8 inches off the bottom of your t-shirt, and you can just measure that off, if you will. 8 inches off the bottom of your shirt. And a couple of easy ways to do that. It'd probably be easiest just to fold it and cut. That way you weren't cutting all the way across it. And again, you can find these directions on the website cdc.gov. They're posted in this video as well. Once you make that cut, you will have a piece of cloth that looks like this. And you'll then fold that cloth in half. So you have the closed end and then the end with the folds. You're going to take that end with the folds and you're going to make another set of cuts. And you're going to cut right down towards the center here and here, so that you're going to have straps on either end. And those are going to be what you use to tie the mask off. So you're going to cut about 6 to 7 inches in at the top and bottom, leaving about 1 inch of fabric on the top and the bottom of the mask. So once you've made that cut, you're going to have a piece of fabric that looks similar to this, and this is essentially your mask. You will apply it with your straps on the tops and the bottoms, and you'll apply it kind of like a gaiter or a balaclava. And as Governor Wolf mentioned, these aren't foolproof masks, and the idea is you can use them in a pinch. They're not going to protect 100%, but they're better than nothing. The idea is you probably should still be adhering to those social distancing guidelines, and once you're done using your mask for the day, it's always a good idea to make sure you wash it. You can find these directions on the CDC website. You can also go to the Pennsylvania State Department of Health website for directions on a few other masks. The idea, though, of course, is to be safe and make sure you're following your hygiene guidelines and the social distancing guidelines to make sure that you're staying safe out there. Reporting for IUP-TV News, I'm Boris Shiloff.
So as you can see, that is fairly easy. And if you stay tuned to IUP-TV News here on our social media platforms, we'll keep you up to date with everything going on with COVID-19 and with our student body here in IUP. And our team is spread out across the state from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. We've got Chambersburg. We've got correspondents in Maryland, keeping track of everything going on. And it is an unprecedented time. And our idea is just to keep everyone connected and informed. And we're going to get all through this together.
Yes, just what Boris said. We are going to keep going and striving, and we'll get through this together, everyone. So again, thank you for watching. I'm Taylor Jones.
And I'm Boris Shiloff.
And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.